Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here again, giving you guys the my thoughts of the latest trending posts or news that I have been noticing on Facebook. And I wasn't really going to make a video because it seems like I'm just making them constantly, but the news just keeps coming in. And some of the stuff that I see just literally pissed me off, and I want to share, my rant or thoughts about it. There was one post that I was actually looking at. I saw just last night as I went into bed, and I said, you know what? I want to talk about it because it involves like something that I was doing at least for 2 days before it was completely halted. But that's a long story. Another story. Um, what I want to talk about is that it was a post that was actually made by the local NBC4 News, and it shows a story it was about a Uber driver. For those of you that know what Uber drivers are, Uber is it's kind of like a part-time position in which you use your own vehicle to transport people to their location, just say point A, point B type of thing. And what happened was this man was an Uber driver, and he was saying that he was beaten, by three riders that came in, and yeah, apparently they were beaten. It looks like, according to their pictures, I actually have seen pictures of these three guys that wanted to beat up this man. They look completely intoxicated, like they just been drinking a lot, and that's probably what set the bar high. Um, well, I haven't had a chance to actually read, like the paragraph, so I want to see. There is actually, oh, there's a video. So, okay, I'm just going to click on the video, and then I'm just going to let you guys listen. And then from there, I'm just going to share, like my points, my thoughts, and what I have to say about it. So, let's see here.
Find the hottest new homes in the Fredericksburg area at hazelhomesva.com. Hazel offers.
As always, they have the advertisement before they. Okay. So, here we go, guys.
It started out as a simple trip, but quickly became a ride from hell for an Uber driver. Police say the people he picked up wound up attacking him after he asked them to stop drinking beer. News 4's Pat Collins talked with the driver, and he's live in Arlington with details on the case and on how officers tracked down the suspects. Pat?
Doreen, wait until you hear how they caught these guys. I'll get to that in a minute. But this started as a simple Uber ride from Pollard Street in Arlington to D.C., but for three men, it ended in a trip to jail. He was hit in the head with a beer bottle, punched with fist in his face, and the side window of his car smashed to bits.
Oh my God.
We're showing you his injuries, but we're not showing his face or using his real name. We call him George. He's an Uber driver assaulted last weekend when he tried to get some people to stop drinking beer in his Uber car. He says one of the guys tried to get the keys out of the ignition, and then after that came the attack.
I tried to stop him with my hand. Then from the other hand, he threw the bottle at me on my head. And after that, he started punching me. I tried to save myself by going down. My head was a bit down after that.
Police arrested three men in connection with the case. 26-year-old Justin Norcock, charged with malicious wounding and assault by mob. 25-year-old Lance Ingram, charged with assault by mob. And 26-year-old Jeffrey Rao, charged with destruction of property.
We take this very seriously.
Really
one, they should have been consuming alcohol in the car, so he was in the right to ask them to refrain from doing so, but then to violently attack him is absolutely inappropriate.
So how did the cops catch these guys? Well, they saw them on the road. leaving the scene in a taxi. Jim, back to you.
Pat Collins. Thanks, Pat.
They left the scene in a taxi. Oh my god. So, okay, that's the end of the video. For those of you guys, hopefully that, it was loud enough for, for you guys to hear in this video. Yeah, it was explained that there was a Uber driver, a man, who was driving these 3 intoxicated young gentlemen in his car, and all he asked them to do was to stop drinking beer. And that's when things got a little rough. And then, I'm just gonna go like this. These dumb motherfuckers think that they can do this to this man and think they can get away with it by hopping in a taxi. That's gotta be far most the dumbest shit ever. In my opinion, I'm glad that they got busted and that they get what they deserve. Okay, so on my thought about it, the reason I would say, the Uber thing is just yeah. So, you know what, before I even go ahead and continue from there on that part, let me just explain something about myself. Let's see, he is an Uber driver, and I would say at least about almost a month ago, I myself was an Uber driver, and although that, I actually wanted to get the job because, they do it because they claim that you can make like a lot of money. You can work whenever you want to, all that kind of stuff. But it seemed like on the cons part, it's just like when you're driving with Uber, like I noticed like the first day that I did it, you actually have like an app on your phone. You download this app on your phone, and all you gotta do is log on, and it will go off whenever somebody needs a ride. And there be situations where I could be driving or dropping off, someone at another location, but then somebody need an Uber, and I'm all the way, on the other side of like the hood or some damn where in DC, picking up, these random weird ass, strange ass people. I remember there was one time where I was already across town, like over there in the hood area. I was like somewhere over in Eastover. For those of you that live like in the DMV, you know where Eastover is. So one man I could be in like Temple Hills where I was, with one person, and then I'm getting a call over on Eastover. And then I was picking up these 3 ladies. It's like I was just completely repulsed by that. Like they were just like sloppy. They were trying to be like respectful, but I know they weren't respectful. I know those were just some degrading bitches that I end up actually had to pick up in my car. And that's why I want to explain about, like the thing about with Uber. For those of you that are actually curious about it, that you cannot pick whoever that you want to ride. You cannot see whoever that you want to ride, because Uber would take you to some crazy places. Like you can end up being, there could be a situation where you actually can be somewhere where you don't want to be. Like I believe probably in his situation, I'm not sure if he picked them up at a club or wherever the hell he had picked them up at, but apparently they were intoxicated, and there could be situations like that where, you actually have people, tearing up your car, and and on top of that, they're gonna bust the window out of his car. I don't know, you can imagine if he paid car notes and all that kind of stuff. And that was just bogus. And another thing about with Uber also is that if you have a situation where when you actually have an injury on your vehicle, whether if you're driving people around and all that kind of dumb stuff, then you will, you have to contact like their insurance company. My best guess, if you guys still want to do it, just talk to your insurance company or whatever to get enrolled into a commercial policy if they have it. I know Geico has it. That's why I have Geico, the commercial insurance policy. Just switch it from there. They pretty much will cover everything except for towing. That kind of stuff is completely different than a personal policy, which I had before. And overall, it's terrible. I didn't really like it. I only did it for like 2 days, and I'm just over it. My folks, completely disapprove of me doing it. Even though I'm 26 and I'm grown, they completely disapprove of it. My mother doesn't like it. My father does not like it at all, because he's a driver himself, and he knows that you can pick up certain people. Just like if I were driving and I would pick up people like that completely intoxicated, and they would fuck up my car and do all that dumb stuff to me and my vehicle, I wouldn't even have it. And then I'm in the process of actually trying to switch a vehicle to a brand new vehicle, and I'm like, hell no, I'd rather just work full time or find me a part time, doing something like either like bartending or retail. I'm in retail. I can still keep my retail job and keep my full time job and be happy with that. Like, I'm over it with Uber. And that sucks. And I'm glad I actually seen that, like, before I actually changed my mind. And I'm going like, oh, might drive back with Uber. That's not a good idea. I wouldn't even try it. And I can imagine if I had like 3, 1, 2, or more guys that were driving with me, and I'm female, and they're drunk like that. Lord knows what could happen, and it's crazy. It's ridiculous, though. So that's kind of like my take on it. Like I said, for those of you that's just curious about it, like I tell you, you really have to look between like the pros and the cons of Uber. It's not, it's almost the same. Like, to me, it's almost the same as like if you're working in a fast food joint. It's nothing more than that, at least to me. And you have to deal with so many, crazy people. And I know you can deal with crazy people. And like I said, I'm not the type. I'm not the type to go by it. I mean, that's just pretty just messed up. My experience on that story is just, I believe it was just extremely inappropriate, and I feel bummed that that happened to that Uber driver and all of that. I don't know if he'll decide to ride again, or what's going to happen, but I apologize on that. And like I said, these people are crazy. They're just sick. I mean, really. And then on top of that, they're gonna call a taxi, act like they didn't do anything wrong. It's crazy. I don't understand, like, people who wants rides from Uber or for a taxi, and they be such a fucking drama queen about it. If you ever drove like once in your life, driving is not easy, especially driving from one location to another. That shit would tire you out. So there's nothing pretty much I can say. I think I'm completely finished on that part. I just explained like my perspective of Uber, that I tried for 2 days and I wouldn't really try anymore. The reason why I stopped, I missed that part. The reason why I stopped Uber, it was because after doing all that driving, because I actually have like a 2005 Dodge Neon at the time. It was something which like shift in my gear, and my car ended up crashing, which is still right now in a repair shop. After that was almost a month ago that happened. And you gotta go through a lot. You gotta go through like accidents. You gotta go through, and it's only for like a little pay of change. It ain't worth. It's not even worth it. It's not worth it at all. It just it's not even really like my thing. So that's all that I wanted to say about that. Like, I'm hoping, that guy can overcome that he'll, get himself, very together, back the way he's supposed to be. I hope them dumbasses will be arrested and be charged with whatever, that needs to happen to them. And like I said, for those of you like are interested in Uber or driving around with Uber, or see this video and think twice for considering Uber, just yeah, whatever is up to you. And also, if you have any comments or any questions about this video for anyone that come across it, you're welcome to comment down on the links below. And also, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel if you like this video or any of my other videos you're curious about. I really would appreciate it. Again, thank you guys for watching. You have a nice one.